Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to try out a new brand that I saw at Walmart. Now I'm pretty sure this isn't a new brand in other places in the world. I researched it after I got home and it looks like it was started by Marissa Carter, who is from Ireland, and apparently it's been around in Ireland for a while, but it just showed up at Walmart and it's Carter Beauty. So I picked up a few things. I thought it would be fun to try out the eyeshadow palette and then the blush palette. I got a bronzer and I got a couple of lipsticks. There was some other things, some of the things they didn't have anymore, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of try out a new brand. Also, you guys, just a disclaimer, if you notice I'm sitting really straight, it's because I slept on my neck wrong last night and I have not been able to figure it out. I actually had to get like an emergency chiropractor appointment booked tonight and it helped, but it's still so sore. So I feel like I'm literally moving like this to not move it so it doesn't hurt too bad. So if you notice I'm kind of moving different or even maybe talking different because it actually kind of hurts to look up at the camera, that is why. But I'm really excited to try out this brand. So they had a few different eyeshadow palettes. I picked out the Sweet Apricot. I actually couldn't see the inside because they had this covering and then it was wrapped in plastic as well. So I couldn't see what it looked like, but I'm really happy after opening it. The color scheme was exactly what I was hoping for. It's just a bunch of peachy tones. I really like the clear window at the top. I'm excited to play around with these. Let's do the eyes first. So I already did my brows off camera. I used the Benefit Precisely my brow pencil, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put some eyeshadow primer on. This is the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base, and this is actually the shade Medium. So I'm just gonna put that on and blend it out with my fingers. So I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about Marissa Carter until seeing this brand, and it made me research her a little bit more. So I guess she started a self-tanning brand and then she moved into beauty more recently. But yeah, I was watching a couple of videos and she was talking about how she was really proud of the manufacturer for Carter Beauty. She was saying the same manufacturer that does Carter Beauty does a lot of international big beauty brands that are priced a lot higher. So that kind of made me think, okay, this is gonna be pretty high quality based off of that video. So let's try it out. Let's start off with a base color. Let's do Sugar. I'm just gonna take this and apply it all over the eyes just to kind of start things out with a little bit of a base. Same thing on this eye. It's kind of fun to see new brands come to Walmart because I feel like there's always new brands that come to Sephora and even Ulta, but there's not always new drugstore brands. So I'm really excited about this. We're gonna dip into the shade Candy right here. I'm just gonna use the same brush and I'm just gonna start applying this in the crease a little bit and then a little bit above as my transition shade. I'm already noticing how buttery these are and they're blending together really nicely. It feels very, yeah, just buttery on the lids. That's the best word I can use to describe it. I did see that they had like a neutral palette too, and they had one other one at my Walmart, but I'm really excited about this color scheme specifically. So I'm just gonna do the same thing to the other eye. This peach color is already making me so excited for summertime. I used to wear peach eyeshadow like on the daily, and now I don't really anymore, and I feel like I should get back into it because it's such a flattering color. Okay, I'm really liking how that's looking. Next, I'm going to try to deepen things up a little bit with this neutral brown shade right here called Milkshake. I might also dip into the shade, actually, yeah. I'm going to dip into the shade Brownie in addition to that. Just kind of mix the two to create a nice soft brown. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that on the outer third just to start to create a little bit more definition. I'm kind of swooping that into the crease as well to create more definition there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. So these two brown shades weren't too deep, but I actually really like that soft definition that they gave. Okay, we're going to put on a shimmer shade, and I think we should go with something pretty peachy. I'm thinking maybe this right here called Lolly. I'm just going to go in with my finger for this. I don't know how shimmery this one's going to be. It almost looks more satin than an actual shimmer, but we'll try it. I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the eyelids. Yeah, that's definitely more of like a satin. It didn't really do much as far as shimmer goes. I definitely prefer more of a punch when it comes to shimmer shades and eyeshadows. But we're gonna do the same thing to the other eye. Maybe I'll try to put something that looks a little more shimmery in over top. This one is called BB, and it looks a little more shimmery than that first one. So I'm just gonna layer that on top. Yeah, that one definitely has a little more of a shift than the first one. Still very subtle, but definitely more than that first color. Okay, I know that seems so simple, but I'm actually gonna leave the eyeshadow at that. I'm gonna go in with my mascara. Today I'm wanting to use the Honest Beauty mascara. So I'm gonna do the lash primer first, followed by the other side, which is just the mascara. And I don't know if Carter Beauty has a mascara, but again, the little side cart thing that was at my Walmart only had a select few of the products. So if you're someone who's outside of the US and you've tried Carter Beauty before, I would love to know in the comments if you guys have favorite products. I saw they also have a foundation that looks really good. But yeah, I would love to know if you guys have any Carter Beauty favorites. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, now that mascara is on, I'm going back in with the shade Candy, which is what we used in the crease. And I just want to kind of intensify that. I really like how that looks built up in the crease area. I think it's so pretty. Oh, by the way, before I started filming, I applied a little bit of the Pixie Collagen Lip Gloss to the lips. I absolutely love that. It keeps the lips so hydrated. Okay, so now, there wasn't very much fallout since that palette is pretty light in color scheme. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do primer, foundation, concealer, and powder. And then we'll move on to the bronzer and blush palettes that I bought. So I'll be right back with my complexion pretty much done. Okay, so foundation and everything is on. I set the entire face with powder and I even touched up the brows a little bit. I'm actually going to do a quick lower lash line situation. So I'm going to take the shade Candy, which is that peach shade we have all over the crease. And I'm running that. Whoa, why is it out of focus for so long? Okay, there we go. It's back in focus. But I'm just taking that across the entire lower lash line. And honestly, I really like how that looks all over the lower lash line. I don't know if I'm going to do anything else. I'm just buffing that across and then making sure to connect it to this outer corner. I really do like this color a lot. Well, that was easy. I'm just going to go ahead and go right into the Honest Beauty mascara. I'm not going to do the primer on the lower lashes, just the mascara. Okay, that's such a simple eye look, but I actually really like how it turned out once the mascara was on. So now we're going to go into one of the cheek palettes. Now this is called the Apollo Bronzer Palette. I don't know if there are multiple shades of these on the website or not, but there was just one at my Walmart, and it looks like there might just be one because these 4 shades seem to be something that would work across a lot of different skin tones, like light, medium, tan, and deep. So I'm probably just going to stick to the first shade, which has little gold speckles in it. This is called Spark. I'm going to do just that because I am so fair. I don't know if I'll ever really dip into the other shades in this palette. So I'm just going to go ahead and start to work this into the face. Ooh, this is really smooth as well. I love how that's blending out. Wow. Yeah, I'm noticing this brand so far. I mean, I've only tried the eyeshadow and this one bronzer, but the powders are super, super soft. They blend out like a dream. I really like this color too. Works really well for me. I guess worst case scenario, I could always use the other shades as eyeshadow because that's one of the downsides about like a one size fits all type face palette. Even if there's a bronzer that works for a lot of people, not everyone's going to be able to use every single shade, you know? I'm just going to blend that down the neck. I'm going to run some down the sides of the nose and underneath the nose and under the lip. I really like how that blended out. That's really pretty actually. It's not too over the top. It was so buttery. I really like that. That makes me excited to try the next thing I picked up, which is the Cupid Blusher Palette. I really like the packaging colors on this. It's like lavender and blush pink. So here's what the blush palette looks like. This one is really fun. I definitely feel like I could use more shades in this palette than the bronzer palette. So let's see, I want to definitely use this one right here maybe, called Devotion, because it's more of a peach. And that's what we have going on the eyes. So I'm just going to kind of smile and start to apply this on the apples of the cheeks. It looks like the top 2 actually are more matte, and the bottom 2 have a little bit of a sheen to it. This one on this corner right here has the most sheen, but the one I'm using looks like it's a matte blush. So I'm just layering that up, and I'm kind of connecting it to the eyeshadow as well. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. I feel like everything looks very smooth, even though the eyeshadow palette was a little bit on like the more buildable side as far as the pigment goes. At least with this palette, this is a pretty light color scheme though, but I feel like I was able to build it up and create something super, super soft and really blended looking, which is nice. I'm just going to take the brush I used with my powder and just kind of go around the edges. I think that looks so pretty. I'm going to skip highlighter, mostly because I forgot to grab one and I'm trying not to move too much right now. with my neck and everything, so we're just gonna press that in with a sponge and hope that the powder that I used creates a little luminosity. Well, I really like that. So next I picked up just 2 of the bullet lipsticks. I know that they had lip glosses too, but I don't think they were in stock. I feel like I would have picked one up if I would have seen them, but I saw them on like their Instagram account. Anyway, I picked up these 2 colors. First one is Debbie, which is this really pretty kind of muted peach. And then I also picked up the shade Adele, which is a little more on the pink side. Ooh, I wonder if I could layer both. I think that's what I'll try to do. So I'm actually going to take a lip liner first. This is the NYX Nude Suede Shoes. I'm just wanting to use that to define the lines of my lips. I hope these match the lip liner. Okay, so I'm going to take the slightly deeper shade. Again, this one was called Debbie. I'm going to just run that across the entire lips. Ooh, that formula is nice. I'm going to make sure to use my finger to kind of pat that in. Ooh, this formula is really nice. It feels very comfortable on the lips. It's very pigmented. It's almost like moussey in a way. Okay, I'm gonna try Adele, which is that slightly pinker color, just in the very, very center as like a highlight. And then I'm gonna use my fingers to blend that out too. Wow, I actually really, really like that. Those feel really nice and luxurious. Okay, we're gonna step back and assess the situation. It's kind of nice to not have like a full face of new products so I can really figure out how I feel about things, but I'm just gonna go in with a little more blush, and I am gonna go back in with a little bronzer too, just using that same shade. Okay, I like how that looks. I'm gonna set everything with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I'm just gonna press that into the skin with my sponge. I'm actually using a tinted brow gel to set because I don't know where I put all my clear brow gels. I think they're all upstairs at the moment, so I'm just gonna do this, and I'm not that good with tinted brow gels, so this could potentially be a disaster, but I'm just being really gentle. Okay, so my makeup look is complete. Let's just quickly go over my thoughts about everything based off my first impressions. Ideally, you know, I would want to wear this throughout the day to see how it wears, but due to unexpected things today, like a chiropractor appointment, I don't have time to do a full wear test, so I just figured I would kind of tell you my very first impressions. So let's start off with the Carter Beauty Sweet Apricot eyeshadow palette. Now, this is definitely, again, a very light color scheme, so it's not going to be too intense on the eyes. With that being said, I really loved the mattes more than the shimmers that I tried. I feel like I personally, when I want a shimmer, I want it to pop, I want it to be seen. This was definitely more of like a sheen. It's just kind of more soft, and if you're a beginner or you don't like any sort of metallic on the eyes, you might really enjoy that. But I do feel like this formula, based off my first impressions, really shines in the matte formulas. I really loved how the mattes blended out, and I do want to actually try maybe a deeper palette. And luckily this is mostly matte, so I could see myself getting a lot of use out of it. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know if it's my favorite palette out there, but based off of just this palette, the mattes are really beautiful. I feel like I could get more oomph out of like ColourPop palettes, so I'll keep playing with it and I'll let you guys know. But really like the color scheme, really actually like the eye look that I made, even though it's pretty simple. Next up, we tried the bronzer palette. I actually really like how this looks on the skin. It's very healthy looking. This is so buttery feeling. That's something that I noticed immediately when applying it. Like, it just blends itself out. So I'm excited about that. The only con for me personally is I feel like I'll only use this shade all over the face. I'm going to try to use the other ones as eyeshadow. I think that would actually look really nice, but I'm not sure if the whole entire palette is worth it if you're just going to use one shade. With that being said, I really like the formula. I really like the color of it. I think it looks very natural. It just literally looks airbrushed, and it felt like it was airbrushed as I was applying it. I really liked the blush palette. I could see myself dipping into all 4 of these colors because I'm personally a blush person. I love all the blushes, so I'm excited to try more. And the one shade that I tried called Devotion was very pigmented and, again, very buttery and blendable like the other powders. The lipsticks are so pretty. I definitely want to go back and pick up more colors because this formula is beautiful. I really like what those 2 look like layered on top of each other, but I actually really liked the shade Debbie a little bit more, the one that I put all over the lips. I think I'll get a little more use out of that one. Adele is pretty too, but it's just a little bit lighter, and I don't always reach for super light lipstick shades unless it's like what I did today and just applied it right in the center. So yeah, overall for me, I think this was my top favorite. The lipsticks were next. The bronzer palette was phenomenal, but I'm gonna rank it here because I can only use one shade. And then the last thing is this one, just because the shimmers weren't amazing in my opinion. They're just more soft. But yeah, that completes this video. Let me know in the comments if you guys have tried this brand and what else is from the brand that you think I should try out. I would love to know in the comments below. It's so fun to discover new things at Walmart, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for me today, you guys. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!